Hi, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Today we're going to try something different. Instead of making the full-size card, I'm actually going to show you 10 great stamping tips. So next time when you create your project, give it a try. Maybe you'll find out, oh, that really works. So that's started. Okay, so the first tips, how to get the perfect windows layering. Something like this. So we all had experience. We want to make like two windows, and then most of the time this happening. So we don't get like an even space between. Okay, I am going to show you the tip how easy we can solve that problem. Okay, so first of all, we are going to use this Nastability die cut. You're going to find the two die cuts, like a different size. One is a little bit sliced bigger than the other one. And then we have a cardstock. This is a half size cardstock. You can do horizontal, vertical, it all works just fine. So this is a 4.25 by 5.5. Sorry, 5.5, but the whole sheet is 11 inches. And then the second one, we are going to pre-cut it. So this one is 4 inches by 5.25. So just make sure your foundation basic card is ready to go. And then we are going to use the larger die first. We are going to just see better, place the place you want. So the first one, you kind of like eyeball it and then find the place. Do your best to find the place. Like on the right side and the left side is the same space, okay? And then you're going to use the reposition tape or washi tape to secure your first die cut. And then we're going to run through the machine die cut and we'll be right back. Okay, so that's the first one. After you die cut, pretty much in the center. Okay, and then you are going to place this die cut already cut already, right? So make sure your white cardstock is in the middle of your color cardstock. And now you're going to grab your small die cut and then put the place it's supposed to, and you are going to remove that one and then put your reposition tape again. And this time, remember, when you want to die cut it, you're going to open your cardstock. If you don't open it, when you cut it, they're going to cut through both sheets. So I'll be right back. Okay, so after that one, you put it back. That will be perfect layering. So if you already know, that's awesome. If you don't, I think it's a great tips that you probably use next time when you want to make a double window card. Okay, so the second tip, I'm going to show you how to make your own stamp positioner. This is what I call Misty. It's a great product. I will really highly recommend it, but it's a little bit pricey. If you're low in the budget, I'm going to show you how to use a CD case or DVD case to create your own. It's very easy. Well, of course, you cannot compare the quality is as good as the Misty, but it will do the job. So you just grab a CD case, and then you can find these magnetic sheets. This is the one that the people use for storage, the die cut. I'm sure you can find some from Amazon. And then you just trimming the size and use the double side tape to tape in the back of this CD case, and then that's going to be your stamp positioner. And I am going to show you they work just fine. So just buy some magnet, and then you put some tape. This is just to help you to pick up your magnet. So this one is always hard to pick it up. Well, it's okay, but the rectangle one is kind of strong. So if you want to see the full vision, how to make your own stamp positioner, just make sure you go to DVD library, check the tutorial number 45. So that one, I'm going to show you in the tutorial, or show you from the beginning to end. So this one, I really want to show you, it worked just fine. So I'm going to do a demo to show you, and I'm going to just fast forward, okay? Okay, so I just finished coloring with Local King's markers, and you probably can see from my tutorial, I am turning my CD case just like that to help me to find the good spot. So the size is awesome. Okay, and then now we are going to just give a nice push, and that's it, hoping we get some boo-boo, and then That way we can, I can show you. See, isn't that pretty? Okay, now you find here, there's some missing spot, right? So that's the perfect example we can go back to fix. So I found that here is a little bit missing spot, and I just color here. And a little bit here. You don't have to color the whole image again, just the place that, and you just push there. See? You fix the boo-boo. So this is the homemade stamp positioner. They work just fine. Give it a try. Okay, so next step, we are going to do some die cut. So most of the die cut on the market, there's something like that is nothing between. So if you have this die cut, you don't have to worry about the next step. But if you have a die cut, something like this, very, very detailed, this is a great tip for you. So I just did an example. This is one of our local king's die cut, and it's very intricate. So when you die cut it, and then all this paper is stuck on your die cut. So what you have to do is you have to have a die brush, okay, and then just do this, and then try to remove it. So I'm going to show you the next step. You just have one extra step. You can solve that all the problem. That's right. This is a dryer sheet. So before they show you, you have to do the wax paper, do this and that and this. That can be solved just by using a sheet of a new dryer sheet. So you just, before you use the die cut, you just kind of rubbing the back of the die cut. Okay, just like that. And then give a try. So you don't have to do this every single time. As soon as you find out your papers is stuck on your die cut, you can rub again. So remember, use a new one, don't use the used one. And let me show you what's different. Before I show you the die cut, actually I am going to introduce you the number 4 tip. So number 4 tip is that we are going to create a guiding window. This die cut is really detailed. When you place your die cut on top, most of the time they will line up. You pay attention to the little point, but I'm kind of picky. I like to create a guiding window to helping me to place my die cut at the right spot. But I don't want to create a die cut window every single time. I want to create something I can use it again. So this is our number 4 tips. So what I'm going to do is, you're right, we are going to use the packing tape. So we are going to use the packing tape. Just seal this piece scrap paper, and then we create. So we kind of like secure the surface, and then every time you can reuse these again. So just regular packing tape, nothing fancy. Okay, so just make sure if you have some extra tape over the paper, you kind of just fold it. So it doesn't have to be like perfect cover, a little bit missing, that's okay. And now you use your die cut, the one that we rub with a dryer sheet already, and then put on top of this packing tape cover, the scrap paper. And then we are going to use washi tape, just tape a corner, and I'm going to run to the machine die cut. We'll be right back. Okay, if you give it a try, you will find out the die cut is actually already loose. It's very easy, and also because that packing tape, they help to release from the die cut too. But one more thing, before you release your die cut, I want you to tracing this die cut with just a pen. And there is a reason for that, because I am planning to use this window again and again, and I want to make sure every time when I put that die cut back, I want to make sure the die cut is at the right spot. So after I tracing the line, let's see how easy it is. See, it's just a very small pieces attached on top. That's much easier to release the paper. And remember, this die cut, we have a special feature, is called kiss cut. So there is still small pieces attached on top. That's a part of our design. So check our tutorial, make sure you learn how to create a shaker card with this feature. Okay, so now you have a perfect window, and also you have this piece die cut that cover with the packing tape. And for my previous tutorial, I was showing you how to use this one as a stencil. So combined with the Local King's Magic Mushroom, you can use this stencil to create a beautiful background. Give it a try. Okay, and I'm going to just fast forward this tutorial. So once when you create this guiding window, you are going to place your guiding window on top of your stamp image. And then you probably realize the Local King rubber stamp matching die is right next to image. We don't have that white gap between your die cut line and your stamp image. So that's run to the machine, and we'll be right back. So after I run to the machine, let me show you how easy they release, because we rubbing that die cut with that dryer sheet. If you didn't rubbing that die cut with the dryer sheet, that's the one. Where was the one? Well, that was the, okay, here. That was the one. Remember, it's all stuck here. You have to use a brush. So if you rub with the dryer sheet, that's look like that. Just like that. And then to make this card, I just lose the frame and rearrange my stamp image, and that's a beautiful project we just did. And then that already 4 awesome tips. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next tutorial, I am actually going to show you how to make a bowl maker. It's very, very simple and easy. So the first, we have some ribbon. If you find your ribbon is kind of wrinkly, you know what's the best way to iron your ribbon? Is a light bulb. So I don't have a light bulb here. That's just pretend this is a light bulb. You turn on your light bulb, and then you kind of just run through your ribbon on that light bulb, and then that will smooth your ribbon. Isn't that a great tip? Okay, so and then well, actually it's extra. That wasn't on my schedule. My schedule was to show you how to make this perfect ball. Okay, so here is my tool. Please forgive me. You can find a better styrofoam than this. I just get a new TV, so this is what I can find. So you can find a bigger one. It doesn't have to be like a smooth. It's like if they can sit well on your table, that will work. And the chopstick. Don't you like my Hello Kitty chopstick? Okay. With this bowl maker, you can make any size kind of ball, but it's just some, it's not like a fancy one, but it does job. So you are going to just find how big it is. If you want a small one, I think smallest one we can make probably is like 1 inches. So just depend how big you want. Of course, you want to make a bigger ball, you have to have a wider ribbon. So we are going to just make something like this size. Okay, so you just poke. Okay, make sure your 2 chopstick is parallel like that, and then you're going to find your ribbon here. So you're going to just put the ribbon behind these two chopstick, right? And then kind of bring them up, so like this, and then kind of cross it, and then go from under, bring it from the between, and you're going to tie that knot. That's beautiful ball, isn't it? And then you remove your chopsticks, kind of arrange it a little bit, and then you use a sharp scissors to trimming the extra ribbon that you don't need. That's how you make a perfect ball without any fancy tools. But this technique is work well with a soft ribbon. If you have something like a hard like that, you probably need a more stronger base to do that. So that's the handmade bowl maker. It works just perfect. I think it's a great tip. Give it a try. Okay, let's move on to the next step. The next step, I'm going to show you how to paint a perfect star. So I'm not going to show you how to make this car. This car is for the next tutorial. I'll show you how to make this Northern Line. But today's tutorial, I want to keep it short. It's just a great tip. So I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful star and do a little bit practice. And when you're ready, this tutorial is coming soon. So this tutorial is actually our stamp set. It's called Tinting Buddies. I know it's just the Christmas is gone, but we're prepared for next year. So let's learn how to make a perfect star. So this is a Copic Aqua White. I had this job probably over 10 years and I still have a lot. If you find it's a little bit dry, just add a little bit water. And then the most important thing is we have to have a nice point brush. So I got this whole set from Amazon, probably only $14. So you want to make sure you have a good set of brush, have a nice tip on top, okay? So let's do some practice here. So we are going to have some water here and just a piece of cardstock. And then when you want to do a perfect drawing, painting a perfect star, you got to have it on the dark surface so that star will show. So when you make a beautiful car with some dark background, you say, oh, I want to add a star on top. And then you pick up your brush and then you do a star. And they say, oops, that looks ugly. How to do a perfect star is actually very simple. With a little bit practice, I'm sure you can do it. So you are going to use your nice brush and then just pick a little bit paint and then kind of mix your brush well. Okay, and then you're going to just draw across. Depends on how big your star or how small. So you can do a big one like this, right? Let me bring this a little bit close. Okay, and next you are going to use a napkin, kind of remove a little bit extra paint on your brush, and then you are going to, from the center, try to do one direction, kind of drop a line, one direction only, something like this, one direction. Okay, from center to the top, center to the bottom, okay, one direction. The trick is you want to have a dry brush. Okay, if you have a dry brush, when you do that line, you will find out your line is gradually become thinner. The important thing is from the center, one direction only. Rotate your paper, okay, like this. See? And then you go back, deep a little bit more, do the other cross first, okay? Dry your brush, one direction, so you can have a 6 stroke or 8. But they don't have to be even lengths. Some of them can be a little bit shorter. Remember the trick. You got to dry your brush, kind of like a dry stroke, and very important, one direction. See, compare this star and this star. Which star you think is a nice star, right? And then if you want to, we can add a little bit tiny one. So the tiny one is you can use a little bit bigger brush, okay? Just pick a little more paint and grab the other brush and you just kind of heat it. So that's how you create a perfect star, just like that. I think that's a great tip. Give it a try. Okay, so the next tip is I'm going to show you how to get a perfect background stamp image. So we all have a background stamp, and then if you have I don't really find at least acrylic block is really helpful because it's very, very heavy. And if you have a stamp positioner, great. From our previous tip, I was showing you how to make a stamp positioner with a DVD case or CD case, or if you have a stamp positioner, use it. Especially when you use a big stamp. Because the big stamp, if your table is a little bit, uneven. When you put your stamp on the acrylic block, it's a little bit bubble. You usually don't get a nice image, or if you have a weak wrist or arthritis, so sometimes you can't push hard enough, right? So this is what you get most of the time. You don't get the perfect stamp image. So let me show you an easy way to do your background stamp. So instead of you pick up your stamp to stamp it, we are gonna do something. First of all, we have to make sure your background stamp is completely nicely inked. So I always rub the background stamp. So rubbing is the best way when you use dye base. If you use a pigment impact, don't rub, okay? And then after you rub, you're going to just make sure you tap, tap, tap. The tap, tap, tap is kind of blending those rubbing stroke. And then you have your paper ready. You can have a bigger than this, it's okay, or smaller than this, it doesn't matter. So you put your cardstock on top. Okay, and then if your paper is smaller, well, just in case you worry about your finger get dirty, and then just put the sheets of printing paper or cardstock scrap paper and give a little bit massage in the back of your background stamp. They like it. Who doesn't? Okay, and just make sure you rub everywhere. Okay, and let's see what we get. Perfect stamp image. Compare these two. No fancy tools, just your fingers. It will do. Give it a try. Okay, so next step I'm going to show you how to get a perfect heat embossing. Do you know what is this? This is called the embossing body. If you have one, use it. If you don't have one, we do something else. So before you apply your VersaFine impact, we're going to use this embossing body, kind of rubbing the surface of your cardstock. If you have that, you use that. If you don't have it, this is a Swiffer. Yes, a clean Swiffer that you use for your household. Just rub your cardstock. So that will help you to get the perfect, they will grab the perfect powder, the place that you don't have a stamp image, the powder will not stick on top because the status. Okay, so I already inked my stamp with a Versamark, and remember Versamark is kind of gluey, so you don't rub, you tap. I'm not a really big fan of the embossing powder because they really go everywhere. So I really try to do my embossing artwork in my stamp house, friend's house when we want to do a project. So this is a tray. If you have one, that's good. If you don't have one, but I will recommend to get one. You can use any like those kind of plastic boxes, they will do a job. So before you apply the embossing powder on top, also use a Swiffer, kind of rubbing inside. Okay, so that way they will help you to clean it. So it's good to have it, so it definitely makes your job much easier. Okay, so after you pouring your embossing powder on top, you can kind of just shake it. Okay, so that way everywhere will evenly cover, and then we just pick it up. See, very nicely pick up the powder, and then always see that's embossing powder. I really hate it. You are going to put it back. Okay, so get a nice soft brush. Okay, see, because I rub that Swiffer on the tray before I put the powder in, so I can easily clean my tray and there is no embossing powder. So it's good things, give a try, and see, powder really don't like it. Okay, and then the next step. So this is A2 size, it's pretty small, and then you probably realize the heat gun is actually pretty hot when it's on, and then we don't really have a place to hold these cardstock. So I found this mini tray from the dollar store. And then you are going to preheat your heat gun. And then once when your heat gun is hot, you are going to just do a circling. So this way, with this tray, you find out your paper is actually less curved, less wrinkling, because the holding tray is over there. And then with this holding tray, you don't have to worry about you damage your cutting mat or burn your finger. So it's a good thing to have one. And then also it helps you when you blowing the heat, the powder is still on the tray, so less messy. See, very nice embossing, no extra powder, very clean image. Baking sheet, baking tray, good things, give a try. Okay, so we are on our last tip. I hope you like this tutorial so far. So, do you own a box of local King's markers? This is our marker set, 24 color for only $24.99. And if you come to the show floor, we usually have a very good promotion. So make sure you check our website and find out where we are. So in the last tip, I am going to show you how to turn your markers into a watercolor. But this tip is only good for a small area. If you do a watercolor painting, in this one is not suitable. So this is the tip that is work on a small area. So those markers is very moisture markers. They are great quality, and also you can refill. You can abuse them. They work better and better. So that's the start that and then they can be blending the color together. And if you need to refill, we are going to show you how to refill with water. You don't even need a reinker. So grab a piece of acrylic block and see how moisture is that. You can just put a few color on top. And let's do a little bit yellow. Okay. So they have a 24 color, and we also have the 60 color set. Wow, with this 24 color, imagine how many different color you can create. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, and then of course, you're going to have a nice brush again, and we are going to start with a pink color. So see, you kind of just add a little bit color on top. Immediately, they become like a watercolor, and we are going to just color on top. See how easy it is? Okay, and this is the pink. And we can dip a little bit. You don't want to use too much water. If you use too much water, the color is going to be so light. So we are going to just do a little bit purple here. Okay, that's the pink. Grab these more close here. Okay. Okay, and then we clean your brush before you move on to the next color. We are going to do some blue. So this is the light blue, and we're going to just find the spot, put light blue, and we mix a little bit purple. Now you get the two-tone, right? And then clean your brush. Let's try the yellow. So yellow, add a little bit red, they become orange. So just like that, easily you turn your marker to a mini watercolor set. So sometimes you want to do a small project and then you don't want to bring all your watercolor out. This is a good way to do a light touch. And then you can just blending the color, even though you leave those color on the acrylic block, and then they dry, and then you want to use again. Just use a spray bottle, mix a little bit water on top, and they will be ready to use again. Okay, just that. See how easy? And then pick up some other color. That's how I made this card. Isn't that awesome and useful tip? Okay, so this is today's tutorial. 4 cards, 10 different kind of stamping tips. I really hope you like it. If you have been follow local King Rubber Stamp online tutorial, you probably realize in every tutorial I'm always trying to share some great stamping tip or technique. So make sure you follow us on the Facebook, subscribe our YouTube channel, or sign our newsletter. We do give a coupon code once a while, and sometimes we have a promotion. We do not send the email out every time when we have a promotion or new tutorial. You got to subscribe our YouTube channel by click that little motorcycle subscriber on the button. And we have a more tutorial coming soon. Let's have a little preview. The Mr. Dress Up promotion is coming soon, so you will I'm going to leave that for the inside tutorial to explain to you what is our Mr. Dress Up promotion. So I'm going to show you how to make this pop-out card, just like that. It's very cute and awesome. And I am going to show you how to make this card, how to create a beautiful notary line just like that. So stay tuned. This is Lisa from local King Rubber Stamp, and I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. See you next time. Thank you for watching.